I'm Dr. Eric Mackey, Alabama State Superintendent of Education. The overview and the subsequent training modules have been developed in cooperation with the District Attorneys Association, in collaboration with several university colleges of education, faculty, and other stakeholders from across the state. We're appreciative of the cooperation of the Texas Education Association for their support as well. The focus is on the tremendous responsibility our educators have, not only to teach our students, but also to provide a safe learning environment. Alabama has seen an increase in the number of ethical misconduct investigations of teachers and others working in Alabama schools. It is important that you take this training seriously, not only for your career, but to ensure the safety of students.
All I remember is just one day being asked to stay late and kind of not really knowing why.
Inside the classroom, in the spring of her junior year, he began touching her.
After which, I left feeling horrible and sick.
Eventually, she broke her silence.
When I did get to her, she was so incredibly kind of just broken.
6 years later, and thousands of miles away, Tiger says her music teacher still haunts her.
Sometimes I'd have little anxiety attacks on the subway because I'd see somebody who looked like him.
If you think Tiger's story is unsettling, get ready for an even bigger nightmare. Her teacher left Booker T, but continued teaching. It's a common practice called passing the trash, and in the education community, it's been a dirty little secret until now.
Something needs to happen about this now.
Working with district attorneys from across the state of Alabama and being involved in various investigations across Alabama, we have seen an increase in reports of misconduct by educators, a significant increase, and not only numbers, but in the type of misconduct and the severity of the misconduct. Part of that increase is due to our emphasis with superintendents and with administrators to report misconduct more often. There are just more educators doing more bad things with students. And I think a big part of that, for me at least, is the advent of social media. Now an educator is able to have direct, unsupervised contact with students on a daily basis. It gives these educators the ability to say things, to do things that they may not do otherwise. They're able to send pictures and receive pictures. Every school district needs to have a culture that makes educator misconduct a little more difficult. They need to be able to police themselves. They need to be able to train their educators, all employees and volunteers, as well as their students. They need to have clear policies. They need to be able to communicate those policies to their personnel and their students.
This is a topic that people don't want to talk about, but there is no choice. It is a priority of the Alabama legislature and the State Department of Education to address these situations. I can tell you from firsthand knowledge that when these inappropriate relationships occur and other misconducts occur, it affects these students in the worst way. And it also affects the teachers. It affects the teachers' families. They lose their jobs and they lose their careers. We want all educators to be aware and to understand that you are there to protect the kids, but also you can protect that friend of yours who is a teacher, a coach, or a volunteer. If you see them starting to get close to the line and you're concerned about the misconduct, you can save their career. And like I said, in some cases, save their life if you can stop these relationships before they go too far. So the purpose of this training series is to clarify the issues so there is no misunderstanding about what is acceptable and what is not acceptable, and ultimately to significantly decrease, if not totally eliminate, these dangerous and harmful inappropriate relationships in Alabama schools.
When a parent, student, community member, or other stakeholder enters a campus, it is reasonable for him or her to expect that students are here to learn and teachers are here to teach. It is also reasonable for anyone to be assured that student safety is a priority. Unfortunately, in the state of Alabama, we are experiencing significant ethical violations where teachers cross personal boundaries with students, often leading to the loss of teaching certificates, criminal convictions, and most importantly, students being hurt. Some boundaries are crossed intentionally and overtly, while other boundaries are crossed unknowingly and without premeditation. It is important to build professional relationships that foster academic success with our students. However, there are guidelines that should be followed to ensure appropriate boundaries are in place at all times.
All right, next class. Let's get a move on. Good to see you. Miss Taylor, how are you doing today? Excellent. It is Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. Are you excited? How's it going, buddy? Good to see you. All right. Hey, almost there. How you doing today? Good to see you. All right, looks like we got one more to go. Have a good one, Miss Taylor. And that brings another great class to an end. You guys, I hope you end up learning as much in your next class as you did in this one. It was fun for me. Enjoy. Hey, hold up a second. I'd like to talk to you.
Sure, what do you need?
Well, I just wanted to let you know that you did a really great job in class today. And your reward is this. If you need any help with your assignments whatsoever, you just let me know, okay? Anytime.
Thanks, Mr. Good. I think I'm okay. Miss Taylor, can I talk to you?
Sure, what's up?
May I shut the door?
Let's leave it open, but we can move over here to talk.
Miss Taylor, I don't want to get anyone in trouble, but I'm feeling really uncomfortable about something. If I tell you, can you promise not to say anything?
I want you to feel comfortable talking to me, but you know I can't promise anything like that. Why don't you take a deep breath and tell me what's going on?
Well, every day when I come into Mr. Good's classroom, he's very touchy-feely with me. It started out sort of okay with high fives and shaking my hand, but now every day he gives me a hug or puts his hand sort of on my butt. Well, maybe more like my lower back, but feels like he's going lower and lower every day. It's getting to the point where I don't want to go to his class anymore. He's constantly giving me candy and cookies, and it's so creepy. I'm also embarrassed because some of the other students are starting to notice what he's doing. I really don't want to get him in trouble, but what should I do?
I appreciate you talking to me about this. I'm sure this must be difficult for you. Have you talked to your parents about this?
No, my mom would have a fit and make a huge scene. I really don't want to tell them.
But this is a big deal. You're gonna have to talk to your parents. But first, we're gonna go talk to the principal. Come on, we'll go together.
Thank you for coming in, Mr. Good. I've asked our assistant principal to sit in this meeting. Do you know why I've asked you here today?
No, I do not. What's going on?
Tell me about the types of relationships you have with your students.
Well, you know, I'd like to think that I've got great relationships with the students. They really seem to like me. They seem to connect with me. Some more than others, of course, but all in all, I'd say I'm pretty popular with the kids.
And what are some of the strategies you use to build relationships with your students?
Well, I like to connect with them. I joke with them. I'll reward them. At the end of the day, I like to be more of a friend to them.
Mr. Good, we are not here to be their friend. You are their teacher. You're a professional, not an equal.
Sorry, I'm confused here. Have I done something wrong?
Well, that's yet to be determined. Tell me, would you say you honor the personal space of your students?
Oh, come on now. You guys know me. I'm just a touchy-feely kind of guy. I'm more like a teddy bear when it comes to these kids. Sure, I hug them and let them know that I care, but I would never do anything to hurt one of these kids.
Have you given gifts to any of your students?
No gifts. Maybe cookies and candies from time to time, but cookies and candies aren't gifts, right?
And it's done for the entire group or individual students?
Hey, now, you know, if a kid does really good in class, I might reward them with a candy bar or something. I mean, come on, where's this really going?
Mr. Good, there's been a complaint concerning a violation of a student's personal space. This has caused the student to be uncomfortable around you. The student doesn't want you touching her. She indicated that you frequently hug her and give her gifts. She even said that you continuously place your hand on her lower back near her buttocks area?
Oh, my goodness. Look, I know exactly which student complained. I was just trying to be nice to her. She's a sweet kid. I had no idea that my behavior was making her feel uncomfortable. Look, I hug her and I praise her from time to time, but it was never done in a bad way.
This is a very serious complaint. And it's my responsibility to not only address the situation, but to document your behavior and report the incident to central office.
What do you mean?
Ethical violations could lead to the loss of your teaching certification, as well as possible criminal prosecution. Mr. Good, do you understand the seriousness of this complaint?
Well, I do now. I wish she had said something. I would have stopped.
Sir, it's not her responsibility to tell you. Before you go, it's important for you to know that I will be providing you within 24 hours of written documentation that's going to be placed in your file. And I will notify central office of the complaint lodged against you. And at that time, a determination will be made regarding additional steps that will need to be addressed. An outside investigation could be part of your near future. This concludes the meeting.
You're too old for me, so don't put your arm around my waist. Don't act like you don't know what I'm saying, 'cause you know I'm not playing. We know your secret, your dirty little secret. It's been going on for years. It's passed down from ear to ear. It's time you got caught, and now we want you to stop. You made us feel dirty inside. It's a secret you can't deny. Please stop before it gets out of hand, 'cause it's a situation we can't stand.
As you can see, the ramifications are significant. Using good judgment and keeping current with state laws and district policies will provide a deeper understanding of the responsibility of all educators in the state of Alabama. Don't become a statistic. Don't jeopardize your certification and your future. And don't find yourself involved in a criminal investigation. Texting, video, and other social media tools are popular and engaging, and may be used as valuable instructional tools. They can help teachers and students make connections to ideas, skills, concepts, and technology-driven learning environments. Unfortunately, social media has also created an easy avenue for some teachers to cross boundaries using online communication. In Alabama, the number of violations stemming from social media interactions between educators and students has increased significantly.
Hey.
Hey, how was school today?
It's okay.
Just okay?
Well, my forensics class was good. Wait. Mom, I forgot my English folder in my locker. We have a huge vocabulary test tomorrow. I need it.
All right, well, hurry up.
I will. I got it, thanks.
What's going on here?
Why are you checking my phone? Mom, it's none of your business.
None of my business. You're my son. Now, what's going on with you and Miss Perry?
Nothing.
Nothing? I saw the pics that she sent you.
Mom, leave everything alone. You're just gonna mess everything up.
Mess everything up. Are you kidding me? I'm supposed to protect you. Miss Perry has crossed a very serious line here. I'm going to report this to your school principal, and then you and I are going to talk way more about this.
Mom, please, do not tell Dr. Garza.
This is serious. I have to report this.
Thank you for coming forward to report this information. I know how upsetting this must be for you to have discovered this. It is deeply disturbing to me as well to know that one of our teachers has engaged in this kind of serious misconduct. I want to assure you that a full investigation will be initiated immediately regarding Ms. Perry's actions. The text message evidence and the pictures you've shared will be very useful. I've notified the superintendent, and I've called our district resource officer to assist in the investigation.
Okay, well, thank you for addressing this, and I'll expect to hear from you soon.
Ms. Perry, please sit down. I believe you know our HR director, Ms. Sutton.
I do. Something wrong?
Yes. I've asked our HR director to be present for this meeting. She will serve as a witness and will document our meeting.
Not sure why you would need to document this meeting, but what's going on?
Ms. Perry, what is your relationship with your students?
Well, they're my students, and we're also friends.
Friends?
Oh, what I mean is I may help them out from time to time.
A student's mother just left our office. She was very upset. Do you know why she might be upset?
Oh, one of the students, he and I are friends, and we've been sort of horseplaying around, so maybe she's mad that I'm friends with her son.
And have you been communicating with this student?
I've sent a couple of texts, but they've all been harmless. I may have played around a little bit, but I didn't do anything. I've sent some stuff, but I don't know what I'm saying. I don't want to say anything else.
Ms. Perry, we have very strong evidence that you're involved in an extremely inappropriate relationship with that student. You are officially placed on administrative leave pending a full investigation. You are not to have any contact with any student until further notice. You will receive further instructions from our school attorney. Our HR director will escort you from the building. You are not to return to your classroom.
He told me he was in love with me, but then he crushed me until I was a complete emotional wreck. He was obsessively possessive. I was completely under his thumb. I used to be this outgoing, strong, and independent teenager. He destroyed me.
He ruined me, sexually, emotionally, and in every other way possible. I was naive and innocent, and he was perverse. It was an aggressive and sickening physical relationship, but I was infatuated. He was this older man. All the girls liked him. I'll be honest, we were all after him, but it was still wrong. He was the teacher.
I literally believed I was worthless. I got into an unhealthy relationship and had problems with alcohol and self-harm issues. I wanted to die. I have tremendous regret and I feel a lot of guilt. She lost her job. Her husband divorced her. She lost her kids. People tell me it wasn't my fault. She was my teacher. I just feel like such a loser.
Unfortunately, these types of violations are happening all too often. They are life-changing for everyone involved. Experts and school officials state that these cases demonstrate how educators, parents, and students need to be more aware in order to prevent these situations from occurring in our schools. Districts must enforce strong policies concerning the use of social media and electronic communication. If you know a colleague is engaging in behavior that is unprofessional or unethical, report it immediately to your school administrator. Educator ethics violations are increasing each year in our public schools at alarming rates. This video will focus on the responsibility of all educators to confront and report the behavior. What is your responsibility to confront or report a possible violation? While it may be difficult to report the inappropriate actions of a fellow educator, doing so is necessary to protect the safety of all our students.
Mr. Meyer, you're always on that phone. What are you doing?
I'm just checking my Facebook. Always an interesting read.
Who has time for Facebook?
Yeah, I like it. It's a good way to stay in touch and chronicle my life. Kind of like a digital scrapbook.
Chronicling your life, huh? You know as a teacher that'll get you into trouble. Seen it happen before.
So, Miss Gonzalez, you on Facebook?
Yes, but I don't have a lot of time to spend on Facebook or anything else.
Well, you're way out of touch. What you need is Snapchat. There's also Instagram, Tumblr, 4chan, and Kick. I'm sending you, Miss Gonzalez, a friend request right now. See you online, doll.
You have a great day. Oh my goodness, Mr. Meyer really did send me a friend request. Wow. This is totally inappropriate. I can't believe he's actually friends with students and they're leaving comments on his pictures. And what is he smoking in that photo? I'm gonna have to report this.
Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Mr. Meyer, please, sit down. I'd like to talk to you about social media. How do you use social media for your instructional needs?
Well, I don't really use social media for my instructional lessons. I will send the occasional text reminder for a missing assignment, but that's the extent of it.
What about Facebook? Do you connect with students on Facebook?
Well, no, yeah, sure. I like to friend them and let them know I care. I really want to build those personal relationships and connections so they'll trust me and want to learn in my class.
Mr. Meyer, are you aware of our district policy on social media?
No. I mean, I really haven't done anything wrong. What is the policy?
It is in the staffed handbook that you received in the beginning of the school year. It provides guidance on expectations for social media utilization. Mr. Meyer, several pictures on your Facebook account show you drinking, vomiting, smoking, as well as several other inappropriate posts. You are also communicating with several of the female students in a way that is definitely blurring the lines between what is okay and what is not okay.
Well, yeah, but that's my personal life. I don't say that was any of your business. I mean, I say that respectfully. Aren't I supposed to have a personal life?
Mr. Meyer, you don't stop being a teacher at 4 p.m. Students look up to teachers and consider them role models and mentors. Your behavior shown in these Facebook pictures does not reflect the behavior of a positive role model or mentor.
I just don't understand. It's my personal life.
The manner in which you are communicating and the frequency of your communications is a direct violation of our district policy There are serious consequences that arise from the type of behavior that you've demonstrated on the social media platform.
So even Snapchat, where the posts are temporary?
Mr. Meyer, nothing is only temporary. The images you send on Snapchat are not only briefly stored on the servers at Snapchat, they're often stored on your phone's temporary files. That means that anyone can come grab your photos even if you thought they were gone forever. Furthermore, sir, I'm very concerned with your inability to understand what is expected of you. No contact with students on social media whatsoever. Am I being clear enough?
Instagram?
You're still having difficulty understanding my verbal directive. You will receive within 24 hours a formal reprimand documenting this conference. You need to understand that possible termination will occur should you decide to go against my directive and continue to have social media contact or any other inappropriate contact with any current or former students. An outcome of this investigation will be forthcoming. Thank you, Mr. Meyer. Have a good day.
I felt like it wasn't my place to report my colleague, but in hindsight, I could have possibly changed what happened. A kid was hurt, and that is something I'll have to live with for the rest of my life.
He was my friend, and I suspected something was happening, but I didn't want to confront it. I wanted it to be just a rumor. He has ruined his life and possibly the life of a student.
I know that other teachers knew what was going on. They all protected each other. I needed someone to step in and help me. I felt alone and horrible. I didn't know how to stop it before it got out of hand. I thought teachers were supposed to take care of us.